Hey everybody, Trainers103 here today with another replay analysis. We are looking at Jockey AJK from Clan HR, and I believe this is a new server game. I'm not sure, I don't tend to check. Actually I should be able to check if I do this. It should tell you here if it's... Come on, vanish. Yeah, it's you. There you go. But, hey, here we go. We're playing a Kagerou. Looks like we're running reasonably stock consumables. Yep, stock consumables all over the place. No survivability expert, but we're running torpedo reload booster here. Heading straight towards the Charlie Cap. We spawn on this side of the map. It's a tier 10 game. They get a Moskva and potential for 2 extra radars here, but it's 9.5 kilometer radar with like 10.1 kilometer concealment or something. So not the world's best overall on Neptune there. This is from the current patch of replay, by the way. Just figured I should get that out. We get a Baltimore, so at least we have a radar here and they have a radar there. I mean, he could be running a scout plane, but I'll leave that meme for somewhere else. Moskva cut obviously coming our way. We can see that on the map now, so we kind of need to be careful of that because we are approaching that guy's radar range. And of course, if he does decide to radar us when we're inside of the cap, we could find ourselves getting blatted quite hard. 15,100 health, not really enough to resist the large amounts of incoming fire. Although, with concealment expertise and having a look at the destroyers, they have a shimmy and a lol yang. We do out-camo all their stuff, but that's a lol yang, so I would rapidly consider advancing in the opposite direction, because we're almost in that guy's Hydro range. But thankfully for us, it seems that guy abandoned his thought of contesting the cap, and his torpedoes are only now going to be coming online, and that's even with a full torpedo reload spec on the lol yang. Not something you see too often, but that's a Neptune as well, so... we're really approaching radar. Yeah, there it is. So, time to engines ahead flank and advance in the opposite direction. Doesn't look like we have priority target because, we're not having... the number there isn't 11 or 12. I mean, okay, you get the point, but... thankfully, the guy had actually pre-radared, so his consumable expires before no one actually gets to salvo us, which is quite nice because we did actually kind of strategically... come into contact with an island. Now we decided to use our torpedo reload booster here. If anything, I would have used it earlier, but we do actually pick up a torpedo hit for 11,000 damage. That's almost certainly against the Neptune. Must have bow tanked it, and there you go. Lol Yang closing the distance against us. If the guy has his hydroacoustic search online now, he would have spotted us, but he doesn't seem to have it, so I would not open fire on him, because the less he's aware of our location and not, and the direction, the less likely he is to see these fish incoming, if he has yet to trigger his hydro, just getting rid of the shift thingy. So if we get lucky, we could actually annihilate the guy, but is that that's a permanent flooding on something. As we do actually pick up a torpedo hit on the lol yang as well, which is very nice for us. That's probably meaning that he doesn't have hydroacoustic search up. So if we swivel our turrets around, we should hopefully be able to go there and... Oh dear, the guy damage control partied, the fire we set on him, took the torpedo, double strike, Neptune goes down. Amazing torpedo reload booster strike there, 73,000 damage. Devastating striking on the lol yang, flooding down to our torpedoes after having damage control partied the fire, low HP rating, and the Neptune also must have a damage control partied something else. And also finds himself going down, or he damage control partied immediately while running away from torpedoes, and therefore takes one on the tail. And the torpedo just wasn't wasn't fast enough, and the damage control body expired. It took a flooding on that as well. So that's pretty incredible there. I mean, we do have we do have 4 out of 4 floodings there, which is it's pretty sick. So very well, very nice opening for us here. And we also know that the Moskva is, he is in range to radar us, but, I mean, what's he gonna... He's not really gonna do too much to us now overall, is he? Now, 8.6 firing range, we don't have AFT. I think we're also running stock fire control system on this thing. Normally, I'm not one for running... I like shooting. My Japanese destroyers, I love shooting stuff. Like, I've run Gunboat Yugumo, Gunboat Shimmy, and all sorts of other stupid stuff. I mean, it does come in handy if you do find yourself in a close quarters engagement, or with the Yugumo, if you do find yourself behind an island, or people just running away from you, just go merrily plinking away at them from long range. Regardless, we need to slow down a little bit. There you go, slowing down just enough to get the cap, and it's ours. engines ahead flank. Let's get out of here, in my opinion, because the Moskva probably has a radar up soon, and we could find ourselves losing a lot of health, and the team's currently bleeding out quite a bit on points, actually, because, the map control. But there you go, radar is up, so that's almost certainly going to see us taking fire. In this kind of situation, I would, without priority target, oh dear, I guess we're looking at this, but I would, see if I can do this and get out. No, I can't. I would suggest leaving the screen and, basically figuring out who's shooting at us, how we're getting shot at, from where we're getting shot at, instead of just using the rudder and whatnot, and hope. I would normally be looking at incoming shells with a shift button and see like this and see where are the shells coming. Do I have to do some thread the needle between incoming enemy shells and all sorts of stuff. Anyways, the Yamato had a damage control partied up, so no liquidator on this guy, no extra flooding or anything fancy off that. So, yeah, unfortunate. But hey, at least we hit a torpedo up his tail, so that's a bit of additional damage for us. I mean, obviously he can regenerate a good chunk of it, but, yeah, Regardless, we're heading towards the Bravo area, Bismarck, Kurfürst, and the last net. The Yamato probably even heading in this direction as well. Probably means that if there's any damage to farm over there, that's definitely where we should head off to farm the damage. Apologies for actually spawning the end results earlier, but, hey... I'm mentally a little bit fried right now. I'm kind of doing this as a bonus video for today, just so I can continue to plow through the amount of replays I've gotten sent, because these replays are not being analysed on their own, So, I just had a pretty significant training for the upcoming Tier 10 King of the Sea, playing 422 Kagerou when you've never really played that in the past. Is pretty stressing. We actually did double CV in the past with 302 Midway, and back when that was the thing. This is like a year and a half ago, by the way, like maybe even 2 years ago. 302 Midway with 233 Hakuryu, so full strike Hakuryu and fight the Midway. Anyways, launching one of the Bismarck. Looks like we're lining up to launch one on the Kurfürst. He just took some damage there. The immediate torpedo reload booster. It looks like we're going to spam this Kurfürst with everything we have. Overall, not bad of an idea. We should definitely try to line the torpedoes up a little bit differently. And if anything, I'm going to launch on the Grosse Kurfürst first. Because there is the chance that he will, basically, 1, 2, of course, we might not be able to lead the Bismarck sufficiently due to the island, but 1, 2, reload booster, swivel around, wait 3-4 seconds, launch here. Because this guy's probably going to immediately damage control party if the first salvo does find any targets. And currently it looks like the first salvo is not going to find any targets, he's just too fast for that. And it looks like we're not going to find any hits on the Bismarck as well, so unfortunate there, but we did get him to turn in, and let's see if we can find some more hits on the second salvo. Looks like we're going to find one, flooding up, but that's the thing, if we had cycled and try to blink him when he's off damage control party with the first salvo, but I think he took another torpedo, so he was off damage con anyways. So this guy's gonna flood for a bit, which is kind of good for us because it means completely free damage without really doing anything. And let me have a look at the Montana. He's healthy enough, so who cares about him? He can easily take this engagement without a major problem. If anything, we should be looking to give this Bismarck a face full of skill if he comes around the corner against us. And this is the strength of the Kagerou overall. 5.4 kilometer concealment. If you can get close to stuff, if the Bismarck, we know he's coming, we can just flop him with a face full of skill when he gets around the corner. Looks like we're going to get the Kurfürst, and there you go, target up, our kill, pick up the third one of the game. But we probably have to get ourselves in a position where we can get back to a cap. I probably would recommend going for the B cap, because we can go torpedo the Yamato Bismarck, and maybe find ourselves... fighting the shimmy overall wouldn't be that nice, but there's a good chance that the shimmy is coming for our Montana and the stuff over here, or is going to the western side. At this point, we're looking to line a drop on the Bismarck, but I probably have it just every now and then have a quick look around to see if this guy finds himself being torpedoed by the shimmy or anything. Because it would give us an indication of where the guy is, and that's currently our only remaining enemy, actually, that we have to be aware of. Heading around the corner for this Bismarck, eliminate him, then we can go maybe torpedo the other Neptune, see if this guy is going to be off damage control party or anything. Anyway, free the lull goes down, so we're finally going to be able to cap A. Points-wise, we're not looking too bad, and this is a bit of a dodgy drop. We're basically assuming that the Bismarck is going to de-stuck himself off the island. It's not, I wouldn't say dodgy drop, but it is kind of it is a drop at a bad angle, and the guy is definitely going to angle more towards us to evade being, giving a bad angle to the battleship fleet, or the cruiser and and battleship fleet we have over there, and also avoid giving too bad of an angle to the Montana, so chances are the torpedoes are just going to have worse and worse angle against the Bismarck, unless he does something silly and decides he just wants to commit suicide on us, which, I mean, definitely wouldn't be too bad. But without premium consumables, we're actually out of engine boosts right now, which is, I'd say, a little bit unfortunate, because keeping one of those things for an engagement with the enemy shimmy could have been nice, because we don't have a smoke screen, and, well, if we do get caught in a bad engagement, we could really get screwed over by that. Regardless, the Neptune seemed like on the map he was advancing in the opposite direction, but we still do have the Neptune we need to be aware of. The Moskva we need to be aware of, and if the guy does decide he doesn't like us and wants to radar us, again, without a smoke screen, the shimmy could, come and gank us at the end of his radar or something and force us into a unfavorable engagement, and that'd be kind of nasty for us because, again, we don't have survivability expert. We're basically playing this ship purely as a damage farming. Well, let's say damage farming, but as a damage dealing ship, because we don't really have team utility. No smoke screen means that we can't actually contest a capture that's kind of unfavorable for us. And we can't really unfuck our own situations if we do get ourselves in a position where we're getting fucked. So that's just something to keep in mind if you are playing a torpedo reload booster ship. Well, at least if you're opting to trade your smoke screen for it. Normally, I am personally against trading torpedo smoke screen for torpedo reload booster, as we do poke around the corner and, oh dear, it's a shimmy in our faces. But he decided to engage as well, and last time I get rid of this. Pick up a really solid HE salvo against the guy. I mean, Kagerou guns are able to do stuff like this. Continuing an engagement against him. I mean, he's decided to shoot back at us. And here's the thing about the IGN on IGN, as we do take a hit from the Yamato as well over there and some other stuff in the distance. You don't want to be showing so much side. You want to be angling out during your salvos, because you do have good firing angles. But let me just pause this right now as we actually torpedo down the Moskva with a single salvo. Bloody well dropped there. I mean, I wouldn't expect much from the Moskva there overall. He wasn't expecting to get torpedoed, but that's a Kraken. But here's the thing. Let me just take the free cam here. Need to go a little bit faster so you can see. If we're showing this kind of an angle, and let me just pause that right here. This is damage zone. All of this, up the smokestacks, not, minus the torpedoes, minus the guns. This, all of this is damage zone. Whereas if I speed it up a little bit, if we're maintaining more an angle like this, you can see that suddenly it's this, the belt, which is a lot smaller. Like, look at the size of that. The superstructure, but the guns suddenly make up a larger percentage of the area of the ship, which is simply in no damage zone. And keep in mind that, let me just speed up, this impact angle of the shells is going to be at this range, more like this. The shells are coming in like this, against your side. So there's more chance that it's, they have to hit the lower end of the stern to actually damage you reliably. Otherwise, the guns make up like 30-40% of your target profile. Whereas from the broadside, area of a ship to area of damage to no damage zone is like this, and this compared to all of the rest of it, which is damage zones. Like the gun, this is like 15%. So when you are in an engagement like this, try to keep more of a heavy angle against the. Let me do. Oops, hold on. There we go. Try to maintain a heavier angle in the engagement. Oops. There we go. Now we're running back to normal speed again. So we've kind of lost a bit more health than the shimmy in this sense, but because we don't actually have AFT or the top level, the upgraded fire control system, 8.6 kilometer range means that by just simply running away, this is a very smart move by Jack AJK here, knowing that he doesn't want to take protracted engagements. He can disengage by running away from the guy, assuming the target's going to run away as well. So the time we find ourselves in an engagement and spotted post-an engagement is actually pretty low. Now, regardless, the game's not over yet. There's still the Yamato with a quite decent chunk of health. So with the enemy shimmy now annihilated, I would just advance full speed towards this Yamato and give him a flop full of skill as well. I mean, the team's kind of running away from him. So, I mean, we do have the torpedo reload booster active, and with this guy basically being the last guy we're going to torp, if anything, I probably would have just launched a bunch of torpedoes at him, triggered the reload booster, launched more torpedoes at him, because those torpedoes that go 67 knots go a lot faster than our 35 knot ship, which means they're going to get to the guy a lot earlier, but he's also likely to find himself slowing down a little bit there, so we just need to predict this and just launch torpedoes at them because, remember, fish go faster than your ship, which means that, they're going to get there before it takes more damage. And at this point, I probably would just done like, fuck life, widespread. I mean, it's a Yamato. He's never gonna get to deaccelerate and then start reversing that fast. So, but hey, it's basically a torpedo salvo that covers all of his paths of movement. So that's very, very good there. But that's basically what I done when I figured he was gonna slow down, because he's against all of this, and it's normal play for people to slow down. But unless the Lion or the Montana have an AP salvo coming in, there is a small chance we can pick up the kill. I mean, the Neptune is blinking away, but well, let's see. Can we nick our 6th kill? Yes or no? And yes, we can. So there you go. That pretty much is a bit of a nice comeback on our team for RN. I mean, we picked up a lot of kills on the eastern side of the map. The initial kills pretty much prevented the opponent team from just ruffle stomping down the 9-10 line, and then knowing that there's torpedoes incoming kind of threatened them and stopped them from wanting to make a move on that side of the map overall, which is kind of nice. Our Neptune is probably going to find himself getting annihilated to Neptune broadside, but it's, the enemy Neptune is not going to have a good day either. And there you go, looks like he does get blatted in return, so hey, that's game, and yeah, indeed, it is game. Once this buggers off, there you go, we can have a look at the post-battle results screens. 182,541 damage, very good result overall. 11 torpedo hits, which is very good for the Kagerou. Picking up even some missions over there. 10 out of 11 floated as well, which is incredibly good there for us. 6 kills, very nice with a double strike in the beginning. Unexpected against Lo Yang. He really screwed up by not having his hydroacoustic search up. Like, he should know at that point that he's against the Kagerou because, he's being outspotted, and, we were pretty much the only guy that was going to be, outspotting him. So, maybe he thought, he felt confident that because the Neptune just soaked a bunch of torpedoes that there weren't going to be more fish inbound. But, hey, I guess, we'll just have to see what happens with that, right? But yeah, picking up the first blood on the poor Lol Yang as well there, which is really nice. Confederate, no high caliber though. I'm guessing it was a reasonably battleship heavy game, so I think you'd need like 250k to actually get the high caliber there. And quite a few of our kills were on the lower health end of things. Nothing wrong with that at all, keep that in mind. Having looked at the team score, 3.4k base XP, very good. I mean, deleting this guy and this guy definitely boosted our XP quite nicely. 6 kills on top of that. While also getting some damage, killing this guy as well. It's a tier 10 and we're at tier 8. Being able to plink a little bit against this shimmy as well, it does mean that we do get some pretty good XP gained from that overall. Detail report screen, you can see Neptune 61k, super heal for the win. First 44k, not a bad result there, additional flooding damage for us. Yamato 22k, picking up the kill there on the end. He took 2 torpedoes from us overall, and you can see Yamato torpedo bulge does kind of resist quite a bit of it. Actually, no, he didn't bulge tank it at all, actually. He took it on the ass, I think, so which is why we did so much damage to him. Normally you'd expect like 10k damage off a bulge hit at best. 14k off the Bismarck as well, just 1 torpedo to finish, but this is really what mattered. We did shoot him, so, we did actually get a little bit of damage in. I think maybe someone else on the team shot him as well. So, well, someone would have had to for him to have died to this little. Moskva, 6k finish as well. Let's see, do we have the last one? Yes, we do. You can see, with such a great result, we see that minus 15% servicing, but without premium consumables and without the minus dispersion camouflage, which is something you kind of end up doing if you don't have a premium ship to make you credits, because as you can see, running without a premium account and assuming we don't have, well, we must have some kind of credits gain stuff here, but you can see on the modifiers, right? But stuff like this means that you do kind of lose out a lot of ability to sustain high tier gameplay if you don't have consistently good results like this, and you're not going to have consistently good results like this because you aren't running premium consumables and whatnot, which is kind of the issue that the World of Warships economy kind of has. I mean, I don't want to go too much into detail about this because it really is not the video for it, and I am mentally fried right now, so I'll probably just sound like a complete muppet. Not like I don't sound like a muppet to begin with, but if you have premium account, if you have signals, you have permanent camouflages or lots of camouflages. Like if you look at my account, I have like a gazillion camos, a gazillion flags lying around, you'll quickly see why I don't have any credit problems whatsoever. Like, I can multi-grind lines, never run out of credits, no problem. But if you don't, you're grinding ships as well, you're going to find yourself pressure on credits, so... Like, I think that if you have a premium account, you're making too much credits right now, but if you don't have a premium account, I think it's actually not too bad. I think it's actually very good, the amount of credits you're making without premium, but I think if you do stack up, you're getting too much, which is kind of letting people play tier 10 a lot more than they're being forced to play lower tiers, in my opinion. At least that's kind of what I see extrapolating off my results compared to, because I don't have too many results from the, no premium account, no signals, poor play, kind of a poor man's account with kind of 55% win rate-ish levels of gameplay. I hate using win rate as a judgment for this, but just taking that kind of an average to judge what the economy is like. But not my job, not my analytics. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this replay cast. Definitely very, very good damage overall. I mean, kind of in a way a stale game in a way, because you'd have to consider that being in a no survivability expert, no premium consumables, no smokescreen Kagerou with torpedo reload booster pretty much means we're spending the entire game spamming torpedoes and stuff, and if we do get ourselves in the gun fight, it's something like we did with the shimmy, we saw that not having AFT and not having the fire control system means that we just have short enough range. We're basically maximizing our range by having it as short as possible, which is basically maximizing our concealment, because post an engagement without smokescreen, we need to just run away, get ourselves out of our main battle rate firing range, and get ourselves concealed, and we definitely did that. So that's a very, very, very good consideration there to take in mind, and I would suggest if anyone's running a build like this, to do the same thing, because it means you can maximize your concealment. Which is very important, because you have no individual artificial way to conceal yourself, so you have to pretty much game mechanics conceal yourself by either being, by just getting far enough away. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this replay cast. I hope you enjoy this little bonus video in a way. Trying to catch up, well not catch up, but trying to go through all of your replays, especially the ones that are asking me for comments on what you could do better, comments on gameplay, because this is truly what matters for me, is to be able to provide you guys, the viewers, the tips and tricks that have got, that I use for my gameplay, and hopefully you guys can learn something from them. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this. Take care, and I'll catch you guys for a video tomorrow. Take care.